not appropriate here. You're wrong. America is not defined by the strength, size, or technological reach of the military, and reducing it will not destroy us. Fear and hatred are destroying America. Having the biggest guns doesn't make us any more respectable. All our weapons are doing for us are showing the world that we don't play well with others. Humanity's development has stunted under the fog of war. All of our creativity and innovation has been swallowed up by the defense industry. While society is less fortunate, suffer the consequences.
Arctic Wolf Squadron.
The power of mankind to destroy rather than to
That sounds a
benefit.
little edgy, doesn't it?
Instead of rising as a
It
united
kind of
people,
does.
scraping for what
Time to put an end to these fucking idiots, though. You dare to fight the Gundam? Very well, then.
We are not a great nation if our people struggle to live. Our weapons do not bring us safety. Only fear and distrust and suffering. We have a chance to redeem our brother. We can rule by our fear for strong
I popped his head like a grape. Already unlocked.
Well, then.
What?
No, I was just saying, well, then.
So I can carry 1,106 total assault rifle rounds in this game. It's
Nice.
It's nice.
I've severely reduced the number of enemies in the area. Now all that's really left is their flag.
See what we got.
I think it's about time that I put these rookie pilots to bed.
Alright, gonna tuck them in? Gonna be, read my bedtime story?
I want to use them both.
Nah. I mean a quiet resting place in the grave forever.
Oh, well that's not very fun.
No, it's not. But maybe they shouldn't have been idiots. Warmongering idiots.
But that's my hobby.
Well, they brought it upon themselves.
You just don't understand their hobby.
A fantastic day for capitalism. Thanks for the scratch. Don't die. I need your business.
Good lord, Marcus, don't die. I need your business.
Yeah.
The 17 flagship Enterprise has been sunk. I never thought we'd meet on the battlefield like this.
How unfortunate. These rookies don't have a home to return to. Well, time to kill them. Ooh. Yeah, I figured.
Figured what?
Oh, I'm getting attacked.
Good lord. So
The enemy gives off a visual cue before using its blade attack.
So I reload really quickly.
Do you?
Yeah, it's pretty fun to watch actually. I thought a child was screaming in the background when that character said the
Uh,
screaming.
basically this person's like kind of like a fucking cyber new type.
I'm gonna use an SMG for a little bit. No, I don't want using those. Doesn't have too much gun accuracy. What's the harm?
So, what's your favorite thing about Scarlet? Mine's the way she smiles. And her hair. And her body. And that one time she made eye contact with me. Really, all of those things are my favorite thing about her.
Can I get rid of this Herbert guy?
The
Freaks me
psycho
out.
flames are resonating. Lol, fucking Gundam moment here. What the fuck, man? Fucking serious Gundam moment.
General George Renault, who some of you know as AWACS Dragon's Eye, was killed in action yesterday. His death completely changed the direction of this war. A call for peace has been made this morning, but there are soldiers on both sides who refuse to comply with this order. This is a decision that you have to make. To be part of the peace process, or give in to hatred and give up your humanity. From past battles, we've learned that there's an increasingly large number of unmanned battle planes deployed. We've managed to track their command to a single source. Here, in a tunnel under a mountain in the Korean Peninsula, near the Seoul 2 power. Command signal is coming from a rogue AI, Ronald Reagan. It's one of the 4 AIs we created in the early 21st century to help run the country. The current capability of the AI is unknown, but it is clear that it can commandeer our unmanned weapons. That is a breach we must not allow. Renegade factions are heading there now to seize control of the drones. We need to get there first and destroy the weapons before they can fall into the wrong hands. This is our last chance to ensure future peace. Godspeed, ladies and gentlemen.
No, this ain't gonna work.
Show me some green arrows.
And I believe, yep, I'm on the final fucking, I'm on the final fucking act.
Nice.
Huh, I just realized that this is actually an Artbird reference based on that guy.
Okay, what'd you say? I couldn't hear you over the gate screaming.
I
Accuracy's
was just
overrated
saying, there was
anyway.
another Ace Combat reference that I didn't really realize until I saw that the name of the mission was Fall, the Bird of Peace. And it was a thing where I had to take down an experimental lasercraft weapon, lasercraft. An orbital flying lasercraft.
Machine.
And it's literally an Ace Combat 5 reference.
Oh,
There's even one in here where you, the very first mission where you play as the guy I was talking about that's the Char Aznavour of this game. The mission is called Red Comet, which is Char's fucking nickname.
Boppity boopity.
hey,
What's up?
Not so much.
okay, kind of question. I'm asking.
There we go.
Didn't Char originally trade places with a lookalike and have him killed?
Yes,
or
he
something?
did.
Thought so.
Yes.
So what happened?
Char,
'Cause didn't
Char is the name of the person that he took his name from.
With white jackholes.
His real name, Char's, is Casval Remdaikun.
Yeah, I remember that. So like, didn't he go from
Yeah.
hating the faction he joined to
Okay, so what happened was he hated the current leaders, which was the Zabi family,
Oh yeah.
the ones who were responsible for his father's death. Once he finally took them out, then came Zeta Gundam, where he ended up joining the AUG under the name of Quattro Vagina, or in one really stupid translation, Quattro Vagina. Yes. I don't. It was in a fucking game. The game fucking had him translated as Quattro Vagina, and I was like, oh, okay.
Okay then.
So then afterwards, after the events of Zeta Gundam, he goes missing. He goes missing in the Double Zeta series. Well, technically, he goes missing at the end of Zeta series and is absent for Double Zeta. During that time, he ends up at the Sweetwater colony, which he eventually ends up gaining enough support and weaponry from people who supported the old Zeon Daikun era Zeon, rather than the Zabi family Zeon. And he gained his supporters and weaponry, and then Char's counterattack happened, where he was leading the Neo Zeon.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Because what was that one that Adult Swim showed? Because Toonami aired a Gundam series a while back. And it had to do with
It's
Shaw.
aired a couple. It's aired a oh, that's Gundam the Origin,
Oh yeah, that's right.
if that's the case.
The Hyperion Corporation would like to remind you that the afterlife is extremely boring and not worth
Is this the
visiting.
final mission? Because it said in total there's 26 missions, excluding
There we go.
the survival missions and the Warfront missions. There is 26 story missions. I just counted. This is number 26.
Oh boy.
So I believe this is the last mission.
No.
26 though. That's not bad. 26 missions, and it's a
Excuse me, I apologize.
pretty replayable story.
Oh god, dude. Today's been a good day. I haven't had Subway in a while, and I got Subway. Papa hasn't cooked bacon and eggs in a while. I got bacon and eggs today. And biscuits. It's been a good day.
You've got to be kidding me. This is a reference to the second to last mission of Ace Combat 5.
It's a fine day, full of opportunity. Lovely.
Okay, so spoiler alert, I don't think you ever plan on playing Ace Combat 5, but I'll give you a little rundown of what happens. During Ace Combat 5, War Dog Squadron essentially gains wide acclaim as the best fighter squadron of Osea. Osea basically being the equivalent of America in the Ace Combat universe. So yeah, they gain wide acclaim, becoming the best aces of their nation. However, something happens, and in a plot to stop the War Dog Squadron from fucking over the war, because the war continued to go on despite all of the things that the War Dog Squadron had done to try and stop it. But in order to keep the war going so that way the two greatest nations that were warring with each other during that game, which is Yuktavania and Osea, Yuktavania being basically Russia, the Balkans, aka what is basically the Germans, essentially do kind of like a little fucking sneaky on War Dog Squadron and pretty much gets them framed. So they're disavowed by the Oseans, and the War Dog Squadron is left on their own to become the Rosgri Squadron as basically just a by themselves squadron that doesn't really answer to a nation. During that time, they worked to disarm.
The last part of the compass.
During that time, they worked to disarm Belka, so that way they can stop the war from continuing at the source. So technically, the War Dog Squadron is branded as traitors, and there's a couple of times in which they have to fight Oseans as well. Kind of like what just happened now for this mission.
I can't hear what you're saying because more of this Scarlet Stalker wouldn't shut up in my ear.
So, just tell me where you last heard me. Okay, basically to make a long story short, the mission that I just did, I just now realized because most of the combat was less with other mechs and more with ships. That was the third to last mission in Ace Combat 5 that actually happens, where the quote-unquote Russians, although in this game they actually are the Russians, but there's a Yuktobanian fleet that intercepts War Dog Squadron's fleet. And there's a couple of them that end up defecting, which also just happened in this mission too. So they end up helping with a couple of extra Russian vehicles, and then afterwards Oseans show up, or in this case Americans show up, and they are totally on the opposite side of the they're on the warmonger side instead of on the president's side.
So this
Once
game
again,
this game is very much a love letter to like Ace Combat, Evangelion, things like that.
And Gundam and Macross as well.
I forgot about Gundam. How did I forget about Gundam
Yeah.
and Macross? How do I forget those?
There's actually a pretty fair amount of references in here to Gundam and Macross, but a lot more of the references are in Ace Combat.
Gotcha.
But, yeah, so what happens is, at the very end, there are, during this whole time, there are peace talks between the Yuktobanian and Osean prime ministers. Same as what's happening right now. There is a conversation happening for peace talks between the President of the United States and the Russian Prime Minister for actual peace talks, so that way the war can finally end. Well, during that mission, at the very beginning, there's a squadron of Yuktobanian fighters flying in front of War Dog Squadron, used, like I said, being Russians. And they're at first marked as enemies, and then they show up as friendlies. So you see a bunch of Yuktobanian and Osean fighters that were once War Dog's enemies now joining in for the final fight. Well, that literally just happened here with not only the two fighter squadrons showing up, but also the fucking helicopter squadron, which I wasn't 100% expecting them to reference. But either way, most of the enemies are primarily ground-based, just like in the last mission of Ace Combat 5. Well, second to last. The very last one involves oh, fuck. If this ends up having the same Ace Combat 5 ending relatively, I'm gonna have to fight a giant satellite. A giant satellite that literally chucks nukes for fun. Like, have you ever seen a fucking nuclear warhead get yeeted by a railgun? Yeah, that's the soul from Ace Combat 5. I've got a bad feeling about these. Also, I think it's really weird that the fucking terrorists don't really matter in the story all that much. There's only been a couple of missions so far. Of course, there are still enemy Russian and enemy Americans in here, just like there were in Ace Combat 5, because there's people who support the warmongers still during that last mission.
Right.
So basically, the very end of this game draws heavy inspiration from Ace Combat 5, which was considered to be the fan favorite out of the PS2 games. Out of the Holy Trinity, as it's called, because those were the three best the three best Ace Combat games were 4, 5, and 0.
Oh crap! Hang on.
5 is considered the fan favorite. Hence one reason why Ace Combat 7 story is written by the person who made Ace Combat 5 story.
Oh, okay.
So there's a lot of Ace Combat 5 and Ace Combat 4 references in Ace Combat 7.
I am the Censorot. All lewd behavior must be stopped.
Oh no.
Known as P3.
I am Censorbot. All lewd behavior must be stopped.
Oh, censor. Wait, did you actually re-download the DLC? I am so happy that you did.
Yeah, I've been going through the past couple of days.
That's cool. Which DLC did you play first? Or are you playing Captain Scarlet first?
I did Marcus's Mercenary Day first.
Oh, so you're doing the Headhunter
no.
DLCs first?
I did the Marcus's DLC for. I did that in a single stream.
You should do the fucking, you should do the fucking, what's it called?
I'm doing
Torg's Thanksgiving.
Then I'm doing Torg's DLC next. Then I'm doing
That one's funny as fuck.
Tina's DLC. Then I'm doing
If you plan on doing all of the DLCs, I still say wait for last. The only reason why I suggested Tina's first is since you wanted to uninstall the game. But since you're planning on playing all the
Sanctuary's
DLCs,
gonna
save
be
Tina's
last.
for last.
No,
Well, obviously, but
I'm saving Tina's
do
for
Tina's
last.
next to last.
Yeah, that's
Do it next to last because it's really good. So you're doing Captain Scarlet, then you were planning on doing Torg's. Were you gonna do Torg's Campaign of Carnage afterwards or before?
before Tina.
Before Tina? No, I'm talking about before the Thanksgiving. I would recommend saving the Thanksgiving one after Torg's Campaign of Carnage.
Is the Thanksgiving DLC?
Survive until the ground thieves have opened the gates of the... You've got to be fucking kidding me. And I just realized what the last fucking thing is. Because they mentioned something about a tunnel where the final AI is being housed that I have to destroy. You've got to be fucking kidding me.
Series of problems. All the bloodshed and atrocities make us shudder in horror. Death comes to all who are wicked and corrupt.
I just realized something about the fucking... one of the AI's names over here. His name is very similar to War Dog Squadron's final squadron name, Rosgrees. His name is Raziel, which is the name of an actual demon.
Okay, hang on. So I've already done the frickin'. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, I've already done How Marcus Saved Mercenary Day. Your life is about to be succinct, you dirty little orphan.
Yeah, your life's about to be succinct, you dirty little orphan.
I'm currently doing Captain Scarlet. Then we'll be doing Mr. Tor's Campaign of Carnage.
Then do the Thanksgiving.
I'll be doing the Hammerlock's Big Game Hunt. Then I'll finally be doing
That's a
TK
Yes.
Baja's Bloody... Hang on. TK Baja's
he's gonna
Bloody
get this-
Harvest. The Horrible
And
Hunger of the Ravenous Waddle Goblin. What?
That's the Thanksgiving. That's the Thanksgiving one with Mr. Torg. That's why I said wait for that one until you've done Torg's Campaign of Carnage.
Okay. Sir
Also,
Hammerlock versus
I'm-
the Son of Cromarak.
So, there's a bunch of combat AI out here that are like super intelligent, and they're the things that are piloting these unmanned machines. One of them here, his name is Raziel, which is similar to the demon name that the Rosgrees Squadron has at the end of Ace Combat 5. But a funny contrast is that the design for the Rosgrees was more based on the Valkyries. There's a AI here named Valkyrie.
God, this game has so much DLC. Jesus Christ. Holy crap, alright.
Wait, what the fuck is that? There's a ship here.
Oh, hi Shredder.
Yes.
I've got I'm sitting with the body expertise ace on the minigun.
I also just realized that not only is this the fucking final tunnel flight for Ace Combat 5, but this is also just the quote-unquote obligatory Ace Combat tunnel flight. Because Ace Combat always has a tunnel flight mission. Always.
Full already.
Into the gate.
Alright.
Alright, where's the fucking gate entrance?
I know I passed by a place.
You're full. I thought you could take a lot more than that.
Alright. Let's find the fucking entrance. There it is. Well, time to do this fucking Ace Combat style. And since this is exactly what the game wants me to do anyway.
Nope,
Too
nope.
bad this isn't one of the transformable types, otherwise I would just transform into flight mode and stay like that.
Stop trying to knock it over.
Yeah, I'm carrying so much crap. It's been really
Ha! I also just realized that the fucking Russian AWACS joining us as our final mission AWACS is yet again another parallel. Because there's a Yuktabanian AWACS named Okanieba that fucking shows up at the end. Which, the funny thing is, it in itself's translation means Sky Eye, which is a reference to Ace Combat 4's, Ace Combat 4's AWACS plane.
Let's just get this out of the way.
And I shouldn't have to tell you, you know what a AWACS aircraft is, don't you?
Nope. I'll be
You
honest, I don't.
Oh, they're the aircraft that have the fucking, they're the fucking aircraft that have the dishes.
Oh, those
So-
things.
Yeah, that's an AWACS.
Gotcha. Okay, so that's center dot. God, there's so much DLC for this game. Good lord, man. God, kill streak Y.
Oh, shit.
Jesus Christ, man. Sky Shredder, kill streak's being weird again.
I mean, when is he not? Okay, that's it. I've had it with you.
Be extra weird.
He came into my chat and put soft murring.
God damn it.
Sorry, bud, no repairs for you.
I know I'm grounded after that. I know exactly where I need to go.
With you, Leo, I swear to God.
Jesus Christ. Fucker is doing so much damage to me, goddamn. Just fly away for a second so I can actually heal up. Okay.
Start the anarchy.
I just killed myself.
Oh, I found out. Killstreak.
Mm-hmm.
Using the Anarchist perk deck and the Iron Man armor, you can't die in normal. They deal too little damage before your armor regenerates.
Death by rope.
Yeah, I mean, I end up having enough armor to where even on hard
Fuck.
or very
They
hard,
can't deal enough damage to get
I-
past.
I don't have to worry about it because I have so much of it. I mean, and then it just regenerates after I like go behind a wall for a couple seconds. And I mean, it
Well,
regenerates
I'm running
quick.
Anarchist right now. And fucking hell, I love Anarchist.
The ISF readings are blue.
So powerful.
This is the 403rd Squadron of the United States Air Force. We're here to provide additional air support. This is not UC and Interceptor Squadron. We also seek peace. It's an honor to fight alongside you. 104th Air Force Marines here. We're here to handle this war. Mariah!
Sorry, I must have fallen asleep.
This is the U.S. OTL. Your objective are to destroy the basic defenses, engage any hostile conversion of the surface, and
Do I continue going with Dying Light, or do I switch over to Payday 2 and actually do some more stuff? I'm going to Payday 2, screw it.
You okay there, Wiz?
I'm just humming to a song.
Oh.
This is getting good.
There's a pirate over. I'm dumb.
Love you, bot.
Question. Is it possible for me to be any more weird than I already am?
I don't. Well,
Except,
probably. You'd find
What?
a way.
Should I?
except,
Please don't.
Except what?
what do you think?
You're
One of
legitimately
us.
offline for me.
One of us.
Oh.
One of us.
Dude, you missed your chance to even remotely try.
Still,
For me to legitimately turn over, you seriously missed your chance.
no, last
the
night I
funny
did get you
part.
though.
That was a
Can't
funny
deny I
part.
did get you.
Sky Shredder, I think we're closing in on turn.
Yeah.
I'd like to. The conversion is just
Am
a
I
matter of
offline for you
time.
on Steam?
I mean, see,
Still
that's the
though.
thing, is that you may be my twin, but you're not the better twin because you're not a furry yet.
Oh no.
Who said the furry is the better twin?
Hey, he
Of
could.
course it is.
Hey, Sky Shredder, he can make an Umbreon like you. Have
Yeah.
an Umbreon soda. Have a Pokey soda.
Nah.
Fucking do it.
You could really be twins then.
Exactly.
Oh god, Sky Shredder. You seen the picture of the two
Matching
foxes that have-
costumes, holy cow.
You've seen the foxes that have.
You've seen the costumes. What fucking
No.
costume?
No, hang on. You've seen the picture of the foxes where they're holding their paws together and screaming at each other, right? It'd just be two Umbreon on their paw.
Oh,
You seen that picture, right?
the fox picture,
It's just
yeah.
autistic
Yeah.
screaming from one side and the other.
It would just be two
Nothing
Umbreon with
but
paws at each other, screeching autistically.
Pretty much. You should join me.
And then dig
You
into
know
the
this idea sounds too fun to pass up.
and then dig into the corner with a sweat drop, like, what the hell's going on?
The fuck?
No, digging in the corner would be crying. Because there'd be
You'd be
two
terrified.
dominant people over him.
Shut up.
Exactly.
Shut up.
You fuck.
I hate both of you right now.
You fuck.
Get absolutely wrecked.
You'll see.
You put yourself in
someday
that situation, my dude.
Not everyone
put yourself
just
there.
becomes,
Shut up. Both of you.
Not everyone
Cease.
just becomes a furry. Eventually, everyone just becomes me. The superior version that you can possibly be.
Oh,
The superior version. I don't even know half of what you've been talking about for the past hour.
God. You people are just. Oh my god.
Don't worry, you'll join too someday too.
I'm already a furry,
Just
you moron.
wait. No, I'm talking about you'll join me someday.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe. Implying that somehow the chance actually exists. You don't even deny it.
We have secured the exits. Cloudy. Moving.
Alright. Now my objective is to simply survive until I can get
Okay,
back to the
so
tunnel mission
Shinobi
because I got
is for the,
fucking destroyed.
Okay.
I just
But
heard.
legitimately though, you missed your opportunity to truly turn me, like,
But you know we will
last
never
year or the year
stop.
before last.
Chill-
No,
chill-
I
chill-
know you guys. I know you guys won't stop, but I'm just saying you legitimately missed your opportunity to actually do something like that.
Well,
I'm wondering
wait,
when he admit what opportunity this was.
same. Where was I?
It was before I met you people.
Oh, okay. You people, excuse me, sir.
Hold on, wait, did you know fucking Red well before this or something?
No. He met before he
Oh.
met me, you, and Red. Like, before he met
Oh.
any of us.
Before the
What, you
other
found out
Harvard
whenever you were
guy
impressionable and young or something?
invited me into this stuff.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. I don't miss him anymore. I really don't.
Who? Rex?
Yeah. Kinda glad to have him out of my
Yep.
life, honestly. Like, it seems like every time, like, it always seems like my friend group shrinks more and more, but also seem to care less and less. Because people like showing off their true colors, I'm just sitting here like,
Yeah.
hey, that's good to know.
You know what part of the anarchist I always forget is a thing?
What?
The health damage immunity 2 seconds after your 2 seconds after your armor breaks.
Oh.
Oh, I'm playing Payday. I don't need my controller for this. Controller on shooters? Please.
Excuse me, sir.
Join the mouse and keyboard master race.
I've
Pleb.
tried.
One of us.
No, I have. Shut up, Sketcher. You play with the controller too, so shut up.
One of
Just sit
us.
in the corner.
The controllers are good.
So
We have
we're
be-
putting.
You may have better aiming with a mouse, but we have better movement with an analog stick.
True, you
You
guys
have
can
more
fly
fine
airplanes a lot
control.
better.
Yeah, we have far more fine control.
I'm taking Skyshire's side on this one.
Well, you don't need fine control.
You're taking what?
You guys can fly planes better, but
Hold on, you're taking what now?
I'm taking Skyshire's side on this one.
What? The fact that that mouse has better aim, but the stick has better movement?
Controller master in general.
Oh,
power
yeah,
Back
no,
down.
fucking-
intimidation is increased by
controllers are
50%.
excellent. I mean,
Yes.
it feels a little better though to aim with a controller. I'm just used to it, I guess, but fuck it. Fuck off.
Never.
No, this fucker.
Oh! That's a start.
Oh, that makes me sad.
What happened?
What?
The flamethrower isn't available for the AI.
Oh yeah, you didn't know that.
I'm
know-
sad. I
you know
wish that
how-
you could use it for the
You
AI.
can
how
put a
over-
50 cal on them.
Yeah, but that's not as funny as a fucking flamethrower.
It's still a 50 cal. I have John Wick with a 50 cal.
Good job.
Yeah, I know.
It's awesome.
I'm running the LNG on Wolf. I'm running.
I have a Russian as a character. Deal with it.
Oh, you're using what's his name?
So cold.
Yeah. How did I forget his name?
Alright, time to go.
The gates are closing. We're not gonna make it.
Kimbo
Oh,
P90s
I
with
hate my life.
no.
I went the
I'm
wrong
putting
way.
an LMG with a flamethrower. Not P90s with a flamethrower. That's a no-no, sweetheart.
Why? What
I went the
happened?
wrong way.
I wasn't listening. What happened?
You know what command I
Like,
need
do
to enable for my...
really need to keep going forward? I mean, okay. I have a problem with continuously going forward, but shit, game, you need to be a little more specific sometimes. Ah, fuck. Oh shit. There's the exit. I made it. Fuck, dude. Alright, that was close.
Oh, I bet Scarlett's getting lonely. Yep, I'm pretty sure she regrets kicking me out to the rust yard.
Hey. Right as I was about to say it.
Ha!
What?
I hate life.
I'm doing this.
Remember whenever hey, so I just beat that last mission. Remember whenever I said, wouldn't it be funny if I had to shoot down a fucking satellite?
Right. Guess
Yeah,
what?
here it
You got
comes.
to shoot down a satellite.
Yeah, I sure do.
Nice.
No, I'm doing that. I'm doing the quest for that creepy guy who stalked Scarlet, and he's like, "I bet she regrets kicking me out to the rust yard." I'm like, "No!" Right before I could finish, she piped in, "Nope." I'm like, I knew it.
Oh.
Cool.
Trying to hit me a satellite.
There is a sexual deviant.
There we go.
You
My
gotta
friends
be
in
kidding
chat
me.
was broken. That's why you were seeing me offline.
This is getting good.
Oh,
I had to restart Steam.
wonderful.
You've got to be fucking kidding me. 2 different end games for Ace Combat 4. One of the audio logs is literally just a fucking, literally one of the audio logs here is in similar taste to Ace Combat 4 for the final mission.
Huh.
Let's go to
Where
my
it's
ninja.
literally you're in the fucking,
Or Splinter Cell?
you're in the fucking, no, Ace
Maybe
Combat.
Splinter Cell.
No? What?
Yeah, that's my Splinter Cell guy.
Oh, I was like, what? Anyways, yeah, no, this fucking thing is in similar light to how the end of Ace Combat 4 was with the, there was a fucking briefing announcement while you're in the, aircraft selection.
Huh.
Go to Ghost.
It's the
we
first and only time that this actually happens in an Ace Combat game. And then also the fucking runway is a highway, just like it was in fucking Ace Combat 5 for the final mission.
Alright. My objective: recover immoral magazines. Okay then.
Alright, we're getting my yeah.
This is hilarious. Wait, oh crap. Uplay decided to open itself and begin downloading a stupid update.
Oh god, if one of the people
Nothing
says
but
your final mission,
flamethrower build.
your final sortie. Really? Somebody actually, I fucking called it. Pick up the phone, I fucking called it.
What?
Literally, the final bit of dialogue as you're taking off in Ace Combat 5, they say, final sortie. It's almost kind of sad, huh? Somebody literally just said that as I'm about to take off.
I have nothing but flamethrowers.
Fucking Ace Combat, fucking, the Ace Combat 5 is fucking strong with this. Oh my god. It's in the morning, too. It is literally at morning time, just like it was in fucking Ace Combat 5. Why? Is this the fucking final fight with fucking Gravark Squadron? Fuck off.
I'm not going nowhere. Sorry, Station.
Can you stop with the huge ass amount of Ace Combat references? Shit, man. So who's their ace?
Yeah, I'd say a chainsaw's good good thing to match with a flamethrower.
Well, of course. First, you set them on fire to soften up the flesh, then you cut them in half. Make dissecting them so much easier.
I know, right?
Or bisecting them, depending on
Hey.
however you feel.
Finally, the fucking terrorists show themselves again. I guess the terrorists in this game would technically be the Belkans, if I had to draw any comparison.
Since this game is a giant just love group to Ace Combat.
Pretty much, only except they just go, oh yeah, there's also Gundam and Macross in here as well. Just a little Evangelion to freak you out, too. As I'm sitting here like, man, there was like Ace Combat references, Gundam references, and fucking, what's it called? Fucking,
Is there a
yeah,
gas
there's
burst?
all those references throughout the game, but here it is, the very end of the game, and like the last few missions
No, not
have
that.
certainly had a bunch of fucking Ace Combat 5 ties specifically. Like, I'm half convinced that the person that, like, see, it's in a good way, too, because it doesn't seem like a ripoff. It seems like a really nice, it seems like a nice fucking, spin on it.
Oh my god, this...
Well, this is certainly a spin. This didn't used to be here. I certainly don't remember fighting a giant ship. Whatever. Blow it out of the sky all the same.
Hey, Sky Sugar.
What's up?
I'm doing the quest, don't copy that floppy. I'm done.
Oh, fuck.
I'm done. Just the name.
Yeah.
Just the name. I'm done.
There we go.
So my mom just sent me a picture. Like, she texted it to me. It's a picture of a kitten. It's like all workplaces should have kittens in case of extreme. And all workplaces should have an emergency kitten to play with in case you're having a really bad day. I agree with that.
And here's the satellite part.
You okay over there, Coach?
Do I actually have to shoot it down?
Yes.
I sure fucking do, and I've got 5 minutes to do it.
I'm guessing that sounds familiar to you?
It's about the same amount of time that you get to shoot down the Soul in Ace Combat 5, so yeah. I'm gonna guess I've got to shoot it from behind. Yep.
So basically, I'm going to be getting an Ace Combat 5 experience by buying and playing this game, aren't I?
Jesus Christ. See, that's the thing, is it's a nice thing that you're considering buying this game, Dustin, but man, you're gonna miss a lot of references. The ones you might get the most are the Gundam references, and that's about the extent of it.
You can't understate just how unserious I was being about the no fatties thing.
Because I know for a fact you probably have never seen Macross, and I don't think you've played any of these combat games.
I played one back on the PS2, the one with the aliens in it.
Aliens.
Yeah, I think it was an Ace Combat game.
I can tell you there's definitely an Ace Combat game with no aliens in it.
Maybe what
So I'm trying to think about what the actual fuck you could have played.
I'm trying to remember. Yeah, let me look up Ace Combat games on PC real quick. I'm on PS2.
Yep, there's the pimp build and everything else. Yes, I have one.
I'll be right back in a sec. Sky, you're gonna wanna smack me.
What's up?
I owned either 4 or 5, because I can't tell which box looks more familiar. But they both like. I could be like I could be remember maybe the aircraft with them. Do either of those have like a science fiction style aircraft in them?
Have a what style aircraft?
Like science fiction aircraft?
I mean, of course, there are aircraft that are like that, but that's always been an Ace Combat thing. They aren't aliens. They're just hypercraft. That's one of Ace Combat's fucking things.
Let me look it up and see if they look familiar at all. Let's see.
Okay, well. Really? The scene with the fucking birds while the fucking... Oh my god.
Did they go
It's
John
just
Woo?
fucking Ace Combat 5 as the fucking satellite explodes.
They
while
put
it's
tab as the space bar.
While it's a cityscape in the background, the birds fly away, and then you see the victorious squadron. What the fuck what the fuck is this ending? Yeah, no, there's no aliens.
What are you giggling about over there?
There's never
The
been
person
aliens in
put
Ace
tab
Combat.
as a space bar.
My question though is, what does the aircraft itself look like?
I don't remember. Like I was like I was a preteen I think when I had the game, so I could be remembering it wrong. Just keep in mind I turn 25 next month.
True.
Oh,
I
hey,
mean,
Red.
Like
I
I
could
do.
if
Is
you know
this
it's for the PS2 though,
Yes.
Yeah, so definitely for the
okay?
PS2.
Fuck this.
Hey, don't leave.
Then
No, I don't
I'm
have
going
my
to send
silence
you a
set up.
picture.
Oh.
I'm gonna send you a
That'll
picture
probably
of
end
the
up
fucking
going-
box art for the 3 PS2 games.
Alright.
Because that's the closest that I think I'm gonna get to getting an example.
And I think I know what the answer is gonna be. to
Screw
both
it,
of
I'm not
those.
doing it.
Blink.
He already got
Blink,
compromised.
Blink. I have no idea. It's
Oh,
gonna be the
did he?
answer.
Yeah, he got compromised. I still need to do the storyline.
Excuse me. Let's see, critical hit damage.
Okay, here's 4 and here's 5. I'm gonna send you these two specifically because I know for a fact that it would be literally impossible for you to own one of these.
I'm guessing it's one of the Japanese exclusive.
One is the fucking Japanese or not the Japanese, the European version of the game. Like, they're for Ace Combat 5. Ace Combat 5 had 2 different names, as did Ace Combat 4.
Gotcha.
Okay, download image.
I'll download your
Yeah,
image.
because if you tell me that it's one of those two, I don't know how the fuck you're able to play it.
I was like, yeah, it's like, it's this one. That's the European one, you lying piece of shit.
It's all like, how the fuck did you manage to play it?
It's like, it was in English too. What are you smoking?
What are you smoking?
Like, I wonder if I'll actually have the box. Would be cool if I did.
But you said it is without a doubt the one is without a doubt one for PS2, right?
Yeah. Because this was back
Okay.
in my PS2 days. Are you saying it over Facebook or?
I'm trying to get the 3 pictures. I got one of them. Just trying to find a decent picture of these fucking things isn't easy.
I gotcha. You know, I probably shouldn't be spamming the shotgun that uses 3 things of ammo per shot.
There's shotguns that use more than 3.
I know, but I probably shouldn't be spamming it like, you know, it's a copy pasta or something. Or spamming it to the extent it's one of those stupid forwarding email things. Which way do I need? I'm
Oh
actually
boy,
going the right
burn
way.
the Splinter Cell person.
Oh.
Burned him alive.
Are you getting attacked by Billy Mays over there?
Yep.
Hi, Billy Mays here.
Get on the ball! Get on the ball! I'm like, oh god. Very
I
aggressive.
fucking love. It's the suicide ladder.
The suicide
It's
ladder.
it's a fucking YouTube poop, and it's awesome.
Oh god.
You should watch it. It's the funniest shit ever.
No. I still think one of my favorite
Okay.
mods of all time.
Now that I have it, I'm going to send you the stuff over Discord.
Okay. But no, one of my favorite mods of all time was the Billy Mays Cloaker mod. Nothing screams terrifying like getting the crap beat out of you by Billy Mays as he's telling you to get on the ball and trying to sell you stuff.
Right. Alright, there's the pictures.
Alright. Ow, I'm on fire. Alright, hang on. Wait, it's just hurting my shield. Crap, how do I get up there?
All they think is Unga and Bunga.
Oh god,
Unga
no,
bunga.
dude. I messed up my
The fucking
Coke.
Unga Bunga brain cells.
Yes.
So, do either of those 3 cases look familiar to you?
Hans, get me the Luger.
The Belkin War does not.
Either
Again,
get me a Luger or get me a
it's-
flamethrower. Something's getting burned.
Yeah, it's either 4 or 5. I'm leaning more towards 4 though, I think.
Yeah, because when you said futuristic plane, all I could think of was the F-22 Raptor, which is the plane on the fucking cover. It ain't futuristic, it's real life. Obviously.
And like I said, back then, you know, I might have been stupid. What
True.
the hell are we talking about?
Well, I mean, little me even knew this plane existed. That's why whenever I first played Base Combat 4, I freaked out. I was like, what is the Raptor in here for, though? The thing was barely developed by the time that this game came out.
Part of me wants to
But
just
yeah.
skip the stupid side quest now.
The,
Yeah, it was.
Base
4.
Combat 4 and 5 had different names in the European versions.
Oh. So
Base
basically,
Combat
if
5
I.
was called...
Go ahead.
Yeah, Ace Combat 5 was called Squadron Commander,
Oh, okay.
because Ace Combat 5 was the first Ace Combat game that you could issue orders to wingmates.
Oh, cool.
So in European it was called Squadron Leader. It was
So-
the second game released on PS2. Ace Combat 4 was the first one, and it was called Distant Thunder in European. The Balkan War is meant to prequel Ace Combat 5.
So basically, had I said the Belkin War, you would have been like, you were just a lying piece of shit.
I probably would have called you out on that because for me, Ace Combat 0 was hard to get, and that was and it's my favorite Ace Combat too.
I forgot where I got Ace Combat 4.
I wouldn't doubt it if you got it at GameStop because that's where I managed to get all 3 of them. One was one I bought.
Honestly,
One I bought myself. The other 2 were birthday gifts.
there is the possibility my mom might got from me at Walmart. Because keep in mind,
Mm-hmm.
I told you, I grew up next to Fort Rucker. I've always grew up around an aircraft. So she's like, I think
For
Dustin
real.
might like this. Because, you know, it had an aircraft on it.
Yeah.
I hear it was a bad game, but it was a game for the Wii, right? And she got it for me as a gift because it was an aircraft game.
Yeah.
It was a war game, but it had aircraft. And again, I've always loved aircrafts. Like seriously, I even have a like maps on. I think I still have them. Yeah, I think we fold them and put them from the house renovations. I have like do back 1 second. I'm gonna cut my pop real quick.
All right.
I've got a question for you. I don't know if you'll
Yeah, no kidding. It's hard to take hostages when you're burning them all alive. don't know. Uh,
Hmm.
There were some that I pictures, I know I had maps too. I didn't throw them away, so they're probably folded up with some of my stuff. So I'll
VR
recover
chat.
eventually.
I really need to try and get into it.
Okay. Yeah, no, my papa couldn't remember either, and
Couldn't remember the name of the game.
no, not the game. Like, I legitimately had like real life maps of like a military base or a battleground or and a fuck, what is it? Like an air base or something, like legitimate maps. Obviously legal.
Why do I still have Kurt's pellet?
But
Yeah.
I don't remember. Like I said, I'd have to dig them out from my trunks. But
Yeah, it's an anime game.
This-
oh yeah, I
These-
also
the plane on the front.
Yeah,
It was indiscernibly. It was indiscernibly a jet, right?
yeah, it was definitely a jet.
It may not have been an Ace Combat game.
No.
Because there was a fucking. I think I know exactly what game it might be. I believe it's Rebel Raiders.
Sir.
It could easily be Rebel Raiders.
Hang on.
That showed all the airfields for where the medevac crews where all the stage fields were at. And all
That might be it actually.
Yeah, I think it was crashed.
Let me download. Let me get the box art picture real quick, and I'll send it to you. But I think it might be it because it looks pretty futuristic, and it is a game I kind of forgot existed for a second.
Such a cool wallpaper.
But it might have been like a crash field map. So that might be the mystery solved right there. And you said what
It
was
was for a what?
It was like a crash field maps, so medevacs could know where everything is. That might be it.
Alright. Well, let me send you a picture of it real quick. I have never played this game directly, though, so I'm just telling you I don't really know much about it. I just know that it exists. Here's the box art for Rebel Raiders.
And honestly, that name does sound familiar. Actually. But so does Ace Combat. So who the hell knows?
Yeah.
Unless I can somehow manage to.
There's the box art. I sent it to you on Discord.
All right. Let me shoot the fire.
What just happened?
Well done. Pandora's moral fabric is intact.
Pandora's moral fabric is intact. Buddy, you are sorely mistaken.
What happened?
I did another mission for a sensor bot, and I grabbed the floppy disk, and he's like, Pandora's moral standing is intact again. I'm like,
Yeah.
aha. You do know what
That
planet
was
this
more
is,
of
right?
Right. Oh, so did that look familiar or no?
I actually haven't checked. Let's go ahead and check it now.
Okay. Yeah, because the only things that I can remember other than Ace Combat and Rebel Raiders.
Yes, it was. It was Rebel Raiders. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
That was
another popular flying game because the only other games I could think of for the PS2 that were flying games were World War II flight sims, which were Heroes Over the Pacific and Heroes Over Europe, and Secret Weapons Over Normandy.
So no, I have never played
Other than yeah, those are all World War II, by the way.
I've never played an Ace Combat game then. So yeah, this.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That explains the differences then.
Crashing.
Yeah, no, that's why I was confused when you said it's a futuristic plane. Like, when you said future plane, I was like, okay, Ace Combat does have future planes, but you said it was on the fucking, cover art.
I don't remember the future plane being on. I just remember being like a jet on the cover art. But I do like because I'd always play against the CPU because I was I'm not that great with the flight stick. But you want to see something really bad? Okay, I'll put it like this. I do much better on a first-person shooter with the keyboard and mouse than I ever do with a flight sim game with a controller.
Really?
Really?
No, hold on, wait. Are you saying like you were bad with a flight stick and a controller?
I'm not that great with the flight stick. I haven't, I struggle sometimes. But here's the thing: the controller. Oh my God! It is. Oh no, sir! No, sir!
I have to invert my my left stick, the left joystick on it to do it right.
Okay, so that's the thing is I have to ask, what do you mean by that? Whenever I think inverted flight stick, I think hold the
up
stick
is down, down is up.
Yeah, down is, that's exactly how it should be, because that's how you work a fucking stick on a plane anyways.
I
pull back to go up.
Otherwise I can't.
You pull back to go up. The thing that sucks is the game I was just playing, the fucking mecha game. One of the units in there is transformable, but it doesn't have an invert flight controls. It just has inverted aiming. Period. I do regular shooters like that with regular controls, but with flying game, I like having down is up is down.
Right.
And since I can't have it separate, I was pretty much just having to play with regular camera controls, so it felt weird to go up whenever I pushed up on the stick.
Yeah, I can't hardly do that.
See, I can with the controller. Hell no. With the flight stick, it's a lot more natural to do that.
Well, of course it does. It's a flight stick. It's supposed to.
With the flight stick, we can do a 360 in midair and still keep going without stalling.
Well, see, I prefer my own flight stick. If you catch my meaning.
I'm gonna punch you.
I mean, that's what the ladies call it, but still.
Well, actually, no.
Actually, she called it.
There are a couple of Top Gun games for the PS2 as well.
Hey, Killstreak, you're only slightly right. Her first reference was, is that a Tic Tac?
That's shameful.
Hey, that's a pistol. Yeah,
that's sad.
Man, that's unfortunate though. That means that. Okay, question. Which consoles do you still own?
PS2, Wii, GameCube,
Quit setting the bodies on fire.
Xbox 360, Xbox One. I own my Game Boy. I don't own my PSP.
You still own you said you still own your 360 and your PS2?
Yeah.
Honestly, Ace Combat, it really isn't that like terribly expensive. I would recommend buying them for your PS2, especially if you have a fucking memory card. And as for your, do you have a PS1 or no?
I don't remember. I think so. I hope so.
If you have a PS1, then you can play Air Combat, Ace Combat 2. There's a reason why I'm not saying Ace Combat 3, because the American version is, like, the worst.
It's poop.
Like, Ace Combat 3, oh my god, I just realized you can do something I can't do, and I'm fucking jealous.
What?
I'm really fucking jealous.
Oh,
I hate you
emulator.
right now. No, not just emulator. You can download a fan-translated version of the Japanese version of Ace Combat 3, which is the superior version. There's a fan translation that's emulated for the PC, and it's a really well-made emulation because it's an accurate translation. And since it uses the Japanese version's game mechanics, okay. Here's the thing about the American version: not only was the translation botched for it, but it was simplified.
Oh.
The game was made to be linear, whereas in
Oh,
all
no.
the Ace Combat games, Ace Combat 3 has the most fucking mission choices you can ever pick. Because it comes down to a kind of like a morals system where your choices have different actions, or your actions have different consequences. So you can change the story in several different ways. So there was a lot of ways to go about playing Ace Combat 3 with the fact that you could even side with some of the other factions other than the one you're initially with.
Right.
So Ace Combat, you get to play the fucking superior version of Ace Combat 3, my friend. I can't. I'd have to buy the fucking shitty American version for the PS1, which sucked ass. Now, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't be angry if I had to buy a fucking PS1 that's Japanese, but I'd literally just be playing Ace Combat 3 with it. But I wouldn't understand what the fuck they're saying because it's not translated. So you can do something that I can't do. You also have the access to Ace Combat 7 because it is on Steam. So you could get Ace Combat 7, you still have your 360, so you could... Well, you could get Ace Combat 6, but you would have to look on like Amazon or eBay because while it did used to be on the Xbox, while it did used to be on the Xbox store, they removed it for some reason, as they did with a lot of Namco Bandai games in the Xbox 360.
Right. That's dumb.
Like, I have all 3 Dynasty Warriors Gundam games. I've tried looking in recent history to see if I could find the games again, because a couple of them were on the live store as like just digital copies. They're not there anymore. Neither are their DLCs.
Jesus.
Stuff for Ace Combat isn't there. Namco Bandai removed a lot of games from their 360 support.
Why?
I have no fucking clue. I literally have no idea. I never went and checked why they did it, but they did it. So, if you want Ace Combat, fucking... I'll be in a sec.
Enjoy
Yeah,
dinner.
no, well... I'll get in a sec. Yeah, no. So, you'd actually be able to get Ace Combat 7.
And...
The fucking superior version of 3. You'd be able, if you have a PS1, or if your PS2 has a PS1 memory card, you can play PS1 games on a PS2 as long as you have a PS1 memory card.
Which
so you can play. I have Ace Combat 1 and 2, and then I have 4, 5, and 0. I have 7. I have 6.
7 is on Steam too.
Yeah, that's what I said. So you could get 7.
Plus, their emulators are gonna be nice too.
If you looked on Amazon or eBay, you could find Ace Combat 6. By the way, it was a 360 exclusive, which is weird for an Ace Combat game.
We're going into the river.
There's a couple of
the wonderful river of Oz.
Oh my god!
Just like
guys, hang on.
You won't ever be able to touch.
Gotcha, hang on. I just turned in the last quest for Centrobot. If only all DRM could shoot people in the face, it'd be a robot shooting. I love Centrobot. I love Centrobot.
He's awesome.
He's hilarious. Like
he's the fucking best.
Like it feels like he's I feel like he's like a parody of like actual like people taking things too far, and it is the greatest thing.
Well, he's more or less a reference to actual like censorship in electronics.
Oh yeah.
Because he's a fucking robot, so there's actually, since there is shit that's meant to be like censored by electronic services, he's more of a reference to that rather than people.
Oh, it's so good too. Oh my god.
Where is the rock with Excalibur?
You could get 1, 2, the PC translation for 3, 4, 5, 6, 0, 7. Fucking, you'd be able to play all the Ace Combat games. I literally cannot play. Well, did you say you had a PSP or no?
I used to. Something weird happened.
Okay. If you can either get it to work again, or
Wow.
if you
PSP emulator.
if you ever got a new one, period, there are 3 Ace Combat games for that. There's Ace Combat 10 and Ace Combat 11 for the PSP. There's also Joint Assault. I dread to say Joint Assault's name almost as much as I dread to say Assault Horizon's name.
Is it not good whatsoever?
Assault Horizon sucks ass, and Joint Assault is pretty close. With Ace Combat Infinity coming in third place for suck. See, that's the thing, is there's another game that you'd actually be missing out on because they discontinued Ace Combat Infinity because it was kind of like a live service multiplayer thing.
Right.
Also, a funny contrast that somebody pointed out, and then I just noticed it immediately because of it, was all the Ace Combat games that take place in the real world, because there are 3 Ace Combat games, that being Joint Assault, Assault Horizon, and fucking Ace Combat Infinity. Those all take place on Earth, and they're the worst. They're the worst Ace Combat games in the series. Even people would prefer to play the shitty American version of Ace Combat 3 over those games, because Joint Assault had a really bad story. The one good thing that came out of it was airplane guts.
Airplane guts.
Yeah, fucking blowing aircraft to pieces and they just melt in a fucking fiery inferno with parts spewing out realistically. Basically it was a nice spectacle to look at, and it had nice graphics, and it was the first Ace Combat game to have choppers and bombers as playable.
Oh, that's cool.
But everything else was a shit show because of the fucking dogfight mode, where it basically locked you behind somebody to follow basically a trail. It turned it into an on-rail shooter.
Oh,
It is
that's
an on-rail
fun.
experience, and that's not good for a flight sim.
Fluorescent algae?
Even an arcade flight sim, which is what Ace
Fluorescent
Combat
algae?
is, it's bad. Joint Assault, it was just kind of bad. It didn't have dogfight mode, but it was just bad. Ace Combat Infinity, I would have given it better points on my personal score, but the story was literally incomplete.
Oh.
There were supposed to be more missions, but the game just abruptly cuts at mission 10. Mission 10 is the last mission that they made. They never expanded on the story. It was literally an incomplete Ace Combat game.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hang on. Whoa, 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 whoa. I've dropped like 5,115 frames. Maybe I should...
What?
Like, not in game. Like, in Streamlabs OBS.
The fucking what?
Something's running in the background and/or network.
Let me check and see Task Manager.
But yeah, so... Do you have a 3DS or no?
Excalibur is? This is where Excalibur is.
Borderlands 2. Telegram. Nothing outside the usual. I'm gonna go ahead and end the recording here, though, and check everything, and I'll get that right back.
So, do you have a 3DS or no?